I am so excited about recording this Knave of Hearts video, legit. I've been prepping it and trying to get all of the best information to give to you today. We have some first-hand practical stuff, and then we'll talk about some theoretical stuff as well. We're going to be on a couple different accounts. Knave of Hearts, man, can't wait to share this information with you. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? Knave of Hearts, guys. Knave of Hearts has just been way better than I expected him to be. Way better. And based on what I'm going to show you today and give you some areas that he can be used, show you some teams and strategies and stuff, I think that's going to be evidence enough. In case you didn't know, he is an Undead Hordes champion. And I guess you can tell that because his heart is locked up. So he's not really alive. He's undead. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. But he is in the faction of our new fusion. And I think that they could be good together. That could be a very interesting and powerful combination. I don't know that you need to run them together, but you certainly could run them together. I think Knave of Hearts goes well in Go Second strategies, Phantom Shogun, some Scarab Boss. We're going to jump into all of these different things today. But first, let me just briefly remind you what he does. Pretty sure you already know, but I like the A1 Provoke here. I think that this is a good champion to be provoking for Hydra. And one of the builds I'm going to suggest to you is going to be for a provoke build for a Hydra team. His A2, which I think this is probably the best part about his kit, is an AoE that he can steal buffs and also puts continuous heal on all allies. Additionally, he's going to be a taunt champion, and that's going to be pretty important today. He's also an HP-based champion, which makes him very tanky and survivable, and he's going to be unkillable as well. That makes him able to be the mischief tank in Hydra. It makes him able to do all these different things. Then we have this increased defense on all allies buff on the A3, as well as equalizing the HP levels, which is very, very powerful. On his passive, it is not going to be that crazy. I wish that this was a passive heal of some sort, but restoring max HP that's destroyed can prove useful in some content areas of the game. I love this part of his passive, the destroying the max HP by 20% of the damage received. That's going to be key to the Scarab team that we're looking at today. Alright, so let's start out on my dude Doomsday's account. Big shout out to you, my dude. Thank you so much. He got a takeover from me, and we were working on his Phantom Shogun team. In his Phantom Shogun team, we were able to clear, I want to say stage 20 through stage 25 with this strategy. And here it is, okay? We have Knave of Hearts in here, who's going to be the mischief tank, or, well, the Phantom Shogun tank, whatever you want to call it. He's going to be the guy who helps us against the Phantom Shogun. And let's go ahead in here and take a look at the stats real quick. Cardial can be any ally attacker. In fact, that Padrag might even be better. But we have 277 speed. Nave is extremely slow. Okay, and he's going to have the most crit damage in the team. Both of those are very important. Does he need to be that slow? Definitely not. You can put real gear on him and still make this work. The MtgJedi, a little bit fast as well. We have Rio here. If you don't have Rio, I guess, am I blocking this? No, okay. Sort of. If you don't have Rio, you should be able to make this work with Ruella is a good option. And I think that Ramontu would work as well. I guess you could try it with Lydia if you wanted to. But Rio is particularly good because she does that cleansing. Otherwise, you'd need somebody else who's cleansing debuffs in this team. And then He-Man is going to speed this up and be our main DPS here. You need at least one DPS. It doesn't have to be He-Man. It could certainly be Whisper, Little Miss Annie. I use Turvold and Leorius in my team that's similar to this. But basically, we need somebody that has the most crit damage in this team so that our He-Man and our other champions don't get that Enfeeble debuff. So let's go take a look at his build, the Knave of Hearts here. We just have him in some Slayer gear, mostly for the crit damage. We do have an incidental feral piece. We can now put whatever banner we want on here. And I would say that we probably want a resistance banner, but I'm going to let him decide that. I would say resistance is going to be probably what we want, especially if we ended up with speed boots. The reason we have these HP percent boots is because of the crit damage. I would much rather have the speed boots here and then use him in a Hydra team as well. But it's definitely okay to build niche specialist champions for one area of the game. Alright, so without further ado, I don't like that saying. Let's not delay any longer, and let's run the Phantom Shogun team. Alright, so let's jump in here. What you're going to see is that we are going to ally attack. And we want Rio to go first so that we get all of those ally attacks with the decreased defense and weaken. Then He-Man is going to come in with all of those buffs and do some big hits. And then we need some cleanser there in order to cleanse those debuffs so that we can go again. And you can see here, the Phantom Shogun is just targeting him every single time. And we did beat this content with Knave of Hearts at 50, which is pretty outstanding. Another thing to remember with this team is you do want blessings on your champions. A great part about Knave of Hearts in this team is that he doesn't do as many attacks. So we have his buff placement ability here, and that is going to really allow us to not attack and do those weak hits. So pretty consistent here, right around 1 minute, 57 seconds, 56 seconds, and that's stage 25. You know, that's a great time, that's a great team, and a great strategy. Now, you should be able to do this with other champions as well. You can slot him in with whoever you have. You just want to make sure that obviously you're beating the content. If you have your Newts or enemy max HP champions, they can work very well in here also instead of the ally attackers. Mithrala is also amazing in this team, but this is the team that I actually built with Knave of Hearts. Not just like, hey, here's this team for this video. This is his actual team that he uses. Now we're going to switch over to another account and take a look at some different ways to use him on another account. Okay, switching over to Heavy Robot's account. Thank you so much for getting a hold of me with your sweet Knave of Hearts build. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll discuss. So we have Knave of Hearts here, and he's got him in a really nice stone skin build with a blood shield accessory, and all of that is very important. I don't think that you really need the 7 and 8 piece, so if you wanted to put another thing on there, that'd be fine. I think you could even get away with 4-piece stone skin would be nice, but the 6 pieces is gonna be helpful. It is, you know, so keep that in mind. We have the Gilded Dragonstone on here as well, just for some more defense and some, you know, gemstones. No books. This building, the Knave of Hearts, does not require him to have books unless you're going to use them in your Hydra team. And then here are the masteries here. I don't think we had masteries at all on the previous account, which it just wasn't needed. So we didn't have books or masteries. Here are the masteries. I like the Unshakable here. we're going to have a total of 469 resistance, which is perfect for all the PvE content. If I was focused on PvP with this build, I'd probably want a considerable amount more. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's take a look at where he's using him on his account. Okay, perfect. So we can see here that he's using Knave of Hearts in this strategy with Harima. And a lot of times that is a team where we're going to be using Sun Wukong, but he has been using Sun Wukong in another team. So this is going to make for a really nice go second strategy, and then we can use Arbiter to target his go first teams. We can use Sun Wukong and all of these other champions as really helpful to beat just like random teams. Very interesting with this team here, Alsgore. I'm interested to see how this runs. So let me let the first two fights run, and then we'll get to the third fight and see what we can do there. So let me go ahead and let that run, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are on fight 3. We got Block revived, and our Harima died. So now is like really gonna be clutch. Like, are we going to be able to pull this through here with just Ultimate Death Knight and Nave? And I would say this is gonna probably be a tough fight, I would say. But who actually knows? Not this guy. We definitely want to kill the Arbiter. And that's going to be pretty crucial to our success here. I don't think we need a health swap yet. We got the Provoke on there, which is great. And we have Decrease Attack on Ultimate Death Knight, which is great. I think we're going to shield up here. And, oh geez, that is going to be very difficult to overcome. So I think maybe if we had put Monkey in this team, that could have proven pretty helpful. You can see Knave of Hearts really being like the last one alive here. So I think personally, if instead of one of these other champions here, if we had had Monkey in here, I think this would easily be a wipe. Easily be a wipe. I don't know how we're possibly going to survive here. We're going to just, like, get killed. Okay, but I think that this is a really cool strategy for us to be working on. Let me sort of see what we can do here with some teams and strategies, and then we'll come back and I'll show you some more information here. Okay, I figured it out. We have Sun Wukong in a destroy build that is for the next team, which is why his arena is all unsorted right now. I did this out of order. That's my fault, okay? But yes, you definitely want to be using a team similar to this. If you don't have Harima, that's where the Mithrala or another HP or defense-based champion could go. Rhodos is particularly good there. If you got Frolny, he could go there. I'm just saying because he's pretty underrated in the game. And we also have that speed aura, which is going to speed us up. Now, the combination of Nave and Ultimate Death Knight is pretty incredible, but I think a lot of people who are trying to build this strategy here, one of the things that is important is that we don't all have the same champions. So, for example, you can use Lydia in this team. You can use Mithrala in this team. Let's go ahead and say you probably have Mithrala before Lydia. And then maybe you have like a Reviver that you wanted to use in here as well. Like your Godseeker, for example. And then you're manualing that, or maybe you have a better Reviver. Maybe you have, let's see, what other options do we have here? Other effects, positive, and then revive. This would be a great one to put in here. Our Noelle could be a very cool champion to have in this strategy. and then you can just keep reviving, cleansing, killing over and over and over again. So there's a lot of ways to set up this team, but obviously we need to talk about Scarab Boss and get all of this sorted after the fact, and hopefully he has a free gear removal to move gear back around during CVC here today. So if we come over here to Doom Tower, let's take a look at the team that he used to beat Scarab 100, and that is going to be with this strategy right here. We have the poisons with Tio. We have ally attack, but really Cardial is the cleanser. We have, what is her name? Lysandra for the turn meter boost and the turn meter control. We have the monkey who's going to be doing some damage there, helping with the destroy. And Knave of Hearts is going to be keeping us alive. His passive is going to be killing the boss. And all of that works really well together. So let me get to the boss, and then I will show you what's going on and why this team works and how you can build this team on your account as well. Okay, we're here to the boss, and one of the things that you're going to notice is whenever we attack, you're going to see the shield icon come up on the champions. And the way that we arrived at this team, I did this team as a takeover for him, I believe. The way that we arrived at this team is because these are the factions that he had his Blood Shield accessories in. Now, I will tell you, the video from yesterday where we talked about the new CVC rewards, we don't know how we can get the Blood Shield accessories in the future, like after the recording of this video. So when I have more information on that, I will let you know. We got resisted on this, which is great. If we don't get resisted on that ability from him, this run can take longer, or you need to start it over, depending on what buffs get stolen. But one of the reasons Monkey King is in the team here is for that block buffs in case things get stolen. So you can see we're chugging away pretty well here. The Monkey King and Destroy is really going well. And then once we get through the shields, man, it's just gravy. And a Nave is a huge part of that. We don't have enough turn meter control for the boss to never take another turn again. And so we need to be able to tank the hits, heal up, and then, the Knave's passive is really locking down the Destroy Max HP that helps us get through that shield. And this ends up being a pretty quick clear. I'm honestly impressed with how fast this was. 2:07, which is a new best time. That's way better than what my expectation was coming into this, okay? And obviously 69 turns. Yes, there you go, okay? So that's the three main areas for Knave. Phantom Shogun, Scarab, and one of your 3v3 teams. I think also, depending on what your teams look like for Hydra, you can definitely use one of those. Let's see if he used him in one of those teams. I don't think that he did. But let's just see. Here are his teams. I think if he was going to put him in a team, it would be this hard team here as the provoker, probably. I think he could put him in this normal team, but this is kind of like a, sort of a high damage team, I suppose. There's a lot of options he would have if he was going to put Knave of Hearts in a Hydra team. Let me actually switch over to my account for the Hydra section, and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, and last but not least, we're on my Corrado account, which I'm going to switch back to playing, I think, after the Fusion, after the free-to-play competition is over. I'm going to do some more content on this account for you guys. I think that'll be very helpful. But just to catch you up, we started with Corrado on this account, and we did make a couple small purchases like He-Man, etc. But we are very low spend on this account. One of the things I did spend for was to finish the Knave of Hearts little deck of fate, was it? And so he is going to be really, really helpful on this account. We are short on support champions. This is the all nukers account, okay? We have Alice, Monkey, Corrado. Neldor, actually a pretty good nuker. We have Rhodos and He-Man. So many nukers on the account. Samson, I think eventually he'll get leveled up. The next 6-star, I think, is going to be Gorgrab. You're going to see him in the team today. And I need a free regear to just come in and like overhaul this account. We'll get there eventually. But for today, we're talking about this Knave of Hearts build. I mentioned if you were going to use him in Hydra, how would you do that? You would want him in a Provoke set. He has that Provoke on his A1, which is really nice. And do we have any books here today? We do. So I think that we're going to go ahead and just put those in here. I think we want him booked on this account. I think he's going to be very good here. We hit the cooldowns here. And we still definitely need some more books. Everything went into this A2, which is okay. That's all right. But here is his Provoke build, and we're working on masteries for him at the moment, which is great. He will have support and offense as whenever we're done with that. And then let's go take a look at what's going on in Hydra on this account. Keep in mind, we're level 62. Okay, on our daily login, we're not to Sill yet on this account. So, ahead of the current free-to-play, but not that crazy, okay? First things first, let me come over here and show you the 3v3 setup. We have He-Man and Rhodos alongside of our Knave of Hearts right now, which I personally love. I think instead of Geo, we could easily put Apothecary here, and that would give us some additional traction. Do we actually need that? I don't know. It's possible we might want a Reviver there also. But, you know, for me, I haven't been playing on this account since the start of this year. So, I don't know where the gear's at right now to say, oh yeah, Apothecary is the perfect fit. Or, you know, whether Geomancer is great there also. But, you know, we're definitely not beating these teams over here from this, like, level 100 player. But this is the 3v3 setup with Nave in sort of like a Ghost second team. And we could end up putting Monkey there. Like, we could switch. If we were going to go with the Ghost second team, I like the idea of Monkey being in here. And then probably putting the Reviver. Or if I got, like, somebody in Stone Skin. Once I start getting some Stone Skin, if I could do like a Reviver in Stone Skin, that would be sick. But until then, probably just the normal Reviver that I would run would be my dude Caden. And then that would be like a cool little Ghost second team. That would be really good. Hopefully we're going to get the fusion on this account as well. And then last but not least, let me talk about the Clan Boss team that we're running right now. So here is the team that we ran on normal. But here is one of the teams that I want to start working on. And that is going to be with Knave of Hearts in that Provoke build. So we're just using He-Man as a damage dealer there. And we have some other, you know, things going for us. But it's possible that instead of something like Alice, that we would want just like another turn meter booster. Or somebody with decreased speed. Somebody with a shield. We do have some other options there. And I think that this is a really good setup, especially if we got an HP burn champion to help as well. We have our Reviver in Gorgrab, and we have Knave of Hearts as the Provoke, Mischief Tank, all of those things. Unfortunately, we did not get the soul for him, but, you know, on a low spend account, there's only so much you can do. So I would expect this type of strategy to one key on our... one key on our normal mode, and then later on you would have to sort of upgrade a lot of things in order to be able to use this strategy on hard. So, what do you think of Knave of Hearts? If you weren't using him before, will you be using him now? And what areas of the game, like where are you using your Knave of Hearts that I didn't recommend in the video? That'll do it for me here today. Make sure you hit that like button and tell me all about it in the comments below. Have a good one.